Are you confused about what you can actually write off as a business expense? Many entrepreneurs end up leaving money on the table or facing red flags with the IRS. Hi, I'm Coach Tasha, and if this is your first time seeing me, hello, it's nice to see you. And to my subscribers, thanks for returning. So, in today's video, I'm going to go over the do's and don'ts for writing off business expenses to help you maximize deductions and avoid mistakes. Okay. Don't forget that my videos are for educational purposes only and that you should always consult with a professional for personalized guidance. All right. Now, if you would like to reach out to me, my contact information can always be found in my description box. All right. Now, let me first briefly explain that in order for your business expenses to qualify as a tax write-off, the expense must be ordinary and necessary to your business, right? Now, many common expenses like business supplies, equipment, maybe even your cell phone, okay, that's mostly going to apply to a majority of business owners out there, right, and entrepreneurs. But there will be other expenses that may be unique to your industry. So those types of expenses may not be a common expense, okay? But it doesn't mean that you can't write it off, right? Then you may have larger expenses that actually have to be what's called depreciated over time. And when it comes to business expenses, different expenses have to be handled a certain way, right? Like different rules apply, okay? Especially when it comes to, home office expenses or vehicle expenses. And I actually explain all of these differences and much more in my ebook, Tax Essentials for Entrepreneurs, which is a guide I wrote with you in mind. So make sure you check the link in my description box. And I'm also going to pin that link in the comments, all right? Now, this is why it's always important to consult with a tax professional who understands your industry if you're not sure, what applies, what doesn't apply. The next thing I want to mention is the importance of keeping personal and business finances separate, okay, to avoid IRS scrutiny and any tax errors. Now, you may hear a lot of people tell you that, for example, like when you're an entrepreneur, or you have a small business, that you can write off your travel and you can write off your meals. But like you cannot just be listening to this information blindly, okay? Because if you're taking personal family vacations or, going out to eat for personal reasons and things like that, these do not qualify as business expenses. But now if you're taking a family vacation, but you're using some of those days to strictly handle business, such as visiting vendors, visiting clients, checking on property that you own, things like that, okay? Now, those things will be able to be written off as a business expense, okay? A portion of the trip and things like that, all right? Now, the same thing with your meals. If you're dining like with your clients at a restaurant or dining with business advisors, even if those business advisors happen to be your friends, okay, you can deduct 50% of the meals. And yeah, you'll be able to write up 50% of the meals as a business expense. But overall, separating your personal and business expenses are key. And some things that can help you do to do this more efficiently is by having, first of all, a business bank account, okay? And I'm actually going to include a link in my description box to an online bank that I highly recommend, all right? Now, you should also have business credit cards, okay? Because having accounts like this in place will help you avoid what's called commingling funds, all right? Now, another thing that you want to do is to keep records, such as your receipts, your bank statements, invoices, and things like that to support the expenses, to support what you're spending, all right, in case you ever get audited. Now, you can actually keep these in digital or paper form, whatever your preference is. And there's just too much to go into as far as like how long you should keep these records. But I'm also going to include a link in my description box to my blog article, How Long Should You Keep Tax Records? Okay, that's the name of the blog article. So be sure to check that out, okay? Now, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to be too excessive with your write-offs in different categories, because this can cause red flags, right? Honestly, IRS and the state, they're always looking at our tax returns to make sure we're, writing off things within reason, right? And also taking like high risk deductions, right? I often hear a lot of people talking about like how you can write off getting your hair done, write off your haircut and things like that. And that's just false, okay? The IRS considers your grooming as personal expenses. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some exceptions, like when you're going to have a photo shoot done to use, these photos and videos or whatever as content for marketing purposes for your business, okay? So in that case, you can probably write off your grooming to get your hair done, all right? And another thing that you don't want to do is wait to the last minute to get yourself organized for tax season, because when you wait until the last minute, you are really running the risk of missing deductions or making mistakes. And oftentimes, when business owners rush at the last minute, it's highly likely that some of your expenses are going to be miscategorized, right? Which is definitely going to result in your tax filing being inaccurate. Also, when you fail to track your expenses accurately throughout the year, this can lead to underreporting or overreporting your income and or your expenses, right? The domino effect to that is that now you're increasing the risk of penalties, which could have been totally avoided. So the bottom line is procrastination can lead to filing mistakes that have costly consequences. Now, I highly recommend that you set aside time each month to update your records and keep your finances organized throughout the year, and actually schedule time in your calendar just like you would do any other appointment. All right. So that's what I have for you today, the do's and don'ts. All right. I thank you all for watching, and please be sure to like this video so that YouTube can push it out to more people who need this kind of information. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss my next video, and comment below to share your questions or challenges that you're facing regarding your business deductions. I will definitely do my best to answer you, one by one, or I'll use it in a future video. Bye for now, and I will see you at the corner of success.